Now, and a very important topic in Chinese medicine is the Jing Jin, which is sometimes translated as sinew channels, muscle channels, or even facet channels. Can you tell us a little bit about this topic and how you'll be exploring it in this course?
So, often people, the only people that talk about Jing Jin is in the context of people talking about it in the sense of orthopedic.
Mm,
Like a lot of time people try to justify orthopedic acupuncture through the Jing Jin or the channel sinews that schematic, right? And that is 100% correct. But those are the people that often try to use the Jing Jin to try to justify their usage of acupuncture, of their myofascial needling. Then there's other people who kind of view them as their own separate channels and stuff like that. But those things are okay. But once you actually, what Huang shows us that the Jing Jin actually are a lost theory, lost. And there's many things about because as Jing Jin almost existed or was or developing separately from the Jing Luo model.
mm.
Because it's the Jing Luo model is what we mostly know as like the foundational framework of acupuncture.
What we call the
But
primary channels, yeah?
yeah, the channels and collaterals, right?
Mm,
Like the
mm, mm,
12, 14 channels, right?
mm,
The lung channel and all that, the Ren and Du. And that's what people, when you go to acupuncture school, that's what we study. And then if we're lucky, we sometimes go into Jing Jin.
mm.
But even those Jing Jin s- uh, classes often miss a lot on the Jing Jin because the Jing Jin, the channel sinews, what what they serve is in even though it got lost because a lot of the Jing Jing techniques were kind of ambiguous, okay? They weren't as clearly written about as the Jing Mai, okay? So it's almost like Jing Mai, um, the author of the Ling Shu, it's almost like he almost used the Jing Mai more because it kind of helped his theoretical outline more,
Mm.
right? Whereas the Jing Jin didn't help um, as much. Now, if you look at the Ling Shu itself, chapter 10 is where he talks about the Jing Mai, and then the next chapter is the Jing Jin. So
Mm.
it's like you still couldn't fully separate them. And the Jing Jin itself, as we're going to study, has a lot of theoretical framework that is separate from the Jing Luo. And then there's a connection to the Jing Luo. And so even though the Jing Jin was forgotten, it's still intertwined in Jing Luo theory.
Mm.
So, and a lot of the Jing Luo theories, such as the idea of Wei Qi movement, is linked to Jing Jin theory. And then that theory is also linked to Yuan Qi theory, the source Qi theory, the Sanjiao theory, and that is also interlinked with Jing Jin theory. Because we're going to explore in the course that because when you study the Jingluo theory, you basically learn about these pathways that are kind of linear, right? In the classical text, they're less linear, like it starts from here, like the long channel. I mean, it starts actually from here, then it descends here, then it comes, but it's almost like you're following it, right? Whereas the Jing, but you might say that's clear, but it actually limits you to some way because it's making you think that lung diseases can only be treated by following that pathway,
Mm.
right? Or maybe using the connection of Biauli theory, exterior, interior, or maybe the large intestine, but it's still following that lines. Whereas the Jing Jin kind of breaks us away from that. And one foundational thing about Jing Jin theory is not fixated to any point system, right? um, a foundational core theme is like where we find the painful spot. That's the point,
Mm. Mm.
right? And we're going to go a lot on that. But that foundational theory actually of Jing Jin comes from prior techniques, right? From when the ancient physicians were dealing with abscess.
Mm.
So Jing Jin also, its techniques often came from those abscess techniques, and then those techniques were applied to Jing Mai theory.
Mm.
And then Jing Mai theory was also applied to Jing Jin theory. But more fundamentally, Jing Jin theory was almost applied more to Jing Mai theory, which became the foundational theory. But it's not the only theory. And I think we're missing a lot when we forgo Jing Jin theory. And it also, once we start to learn more Jing Jin, because that's what I'm mostly focusing on in this course, Jing Jin theory, in terms of the channels. Um, and then show you how you could use it to treat internal medicine diseases, pain, and other things, but also the scaffolding, it as a scaffolding basis to to and this is what Hanong Shang proposes, that it's its own theory that needs to be revived. Um, mhm.